Welcome to the 4 Pillars of Men's Health, a podcast of resources for restoring vigor and vitality, bringing you top influencers in the men's health arena, case studies of men who have succeeded and how they did it, and cutting-edge teaching on men's health issues from America's leading men's health guru, Dave Skattum. Get ready to take steps towards good health. Here's your host, Dave Skattum.
Hey, Brad. Hey, I just wanted to say thanks for taking the time out to go out to lunch with me the other day. And I just wanted to reflect back to you a little bit about how that conversation went, and especially as it relates to weight loss and getting back in shape. I know that you are going through some real challenging times right now. You got those real negative test results from your blood work. And I just want to encourage you and let you know that I totally get it. And I was there, and I'm still, in a sense, I'm still there because I'm still struggling. And I think I always will struggle with eating the right food, eating the right amount of food, and getting on that scale and looking at that thing and saying, this can't be. I can't believe I still weigh this much. But I want to encourage you because I know that things can turn around for you. I know they will turn around for you. And this journey to good health is such a long, hard road, but it's also so rewarding and so satisfying to get into a place of good health. And I don't want you to lose hope. I want you to keep at it. And there will be setbacks, just like we talked about in all areas of life. There's going to be, and all along our life journey, there's going to be setbacks, and we're going to have times where we're riding high, riding the wave of success and doing well. And then there's going to be times when we don't, and we're at the bottom, and we hit the bottom, and it's part of the journey, and we can learn from all of these things, and I can really relate to what we talked about, and I just want to let you know that I'm here and want you to know that I care about what's going on, and really the crux of this for me is I just see this huge potential in you to do some amazing things in your sphere of influence with your kids, with your family, with the people around you, the people you work with, all those areas. And I don't want you to get cut short, with some bad health issue. And I want to encourage you to walk through this time of defeat and get back on track. And I want to let you know there's 4 things. When I go through these kinds of things, there's 4 things that I process and I go through, and that helps me punch through these hard times. And the first one is, I think we have to recognize and accept where we're at. So many of us just kind of live in, or so many times in our lives, we live in this sense of just like not recognizing really where we're at. And I think kudos to you for taking that blood test and finding out where you're at. Because without that measurement, there's no way to tell, to know if you're improving. You can guess and you can throw a dart at a dartboard, but now you know where you're at and what you have to do, and you know your mission. So the first thing is recognize and accept where you're at. And just another thing is just be okay with not being perfect. And that's the first thing, is just recognize and accept. The second thing is you got to admit your part in this situation. For me, that means, accepting and admitting that, the other day I ate too much food, or the other day I didn't get enough exercise. And you have to admit to your part in that. And that goes with any area of our lives where we have had setbacks. You have to admit and take responsibility for your part of it, and just say, you know what, I'm not perfect. I blew it in this area, and that's just the way it is. That's the way life is. We're not perfect people, and it's an important part of dealing with failure is admitting your part. So recognize and accept where you're at. That's the first step. Second step, admit your part in it. Third step is make a plan to regroup and get back on track. And that's the good thing about life is you can always get back on track with these things. Just know that you're going to have setbacks. Know that you're going to have to take time to make a plan to get back on track with things. And that's really the real value and the real part of this that makes it so good is that we can regroup and we can, admit what our part, we can accept where we're at, and then we can regroup and we can get back on track and get a plan going. In your case, in this situation, you're going to have to figure out ways to get away from emotional eating. You're going to have to figure out ways to get away from addictive behaviors. And we talked about all that stuff. And for other areas of times when you are going through areas of failure, you're going to have to consider all these things and how to regroup and get a plan to get back on track. So if you do those three things, recognize and accept where you're at, admit your part, and make a plan to regroup and get back on track, you're going to have some great success. So I encourage you to do those things. Now here, this last thing, this fourth thing is something that is so intriguing to me. My sister-in-law, I remember when I was going through some pretty hard financial struggles, and she was doing really well. She's a really wealthy person, not only financially, but just in all areas of her life. She's just a good quality person. And I remember thinking to myself, watching her like buying real estate and doing these things that were like, just seemed so incredible to me. And I thought, how in the world does she do that? And I came to the realization that she always, when she goes through hard times and difficult situations, she's always looking for that pot of gold. And what I mean by that, I really believe this, that every adversity, every failure, and every heartbreak in our lives carries with it a seed of equal or greater benefit. And if we can learn to look for that pot of gold when we're going through times of challenge and times of failure, and find that sliver of gold and grab onto that and maximize that and take that for everything you can be just like my sister-in-law and find some really amazing ways out of situations that seem hopeless, that seem hard, they are hopeless and they are hard, some of them. But if you look for that sliver of gold and find that seed of opportunity and benefit and grab onto that and make the best of it, it's going to turn this whole situation around for you. So I encourage you to do that. Look for the pot of gold. What's happened? Ask yourself, what is going on that I can turn this thing around and turn it into something good and positive in my life? So way to go, Brad. You're doing great. Keep on keeping on. And this journey to good health is long. It is hard. But I'm telling you, it's rewarding and satisfying. And you need to have good health in order to complete your mission in your life. So remember these four things. Recognize and accept where you're at. Number 2, admit your part in the situation. Number 3, make a plan to regroup and get back on track. And remember to look for that pot of gold. And remember, every adversity, every failure, and every heartbreak carries with it a seed of equal or greater benefit. Hey, Brad, way to go.
You've been listening to The 4 Pillars of Men's Health with Dave Skattum. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or listen to past episodes, visit the4pillarsofmenshealth.com.